What is up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, I'm Lora, and on my channel we talk fitness, wellness, self-development, goal setting, just all the things I want to talk about. But today we're going to be talking about faking it till you make it, what that actually means and why it actually works. So let's get into it. Of faking it till you make it is not a new concept. You may say it's being delusional or playing pretend, however you want to say it, but it does actually work, because when you're faking it or when you're pretending to be something that you're not, eventually you're going to be it. And it's such a mind play, it's a mind trick. So in order to actually be the person that you want to be, you're going to have to change your thoughts and change your way of being. You're actually going to become a new person. Faking it till you make it can actually help reframe your perspective. So if you've seen the movie I Feel Pretty with Amy Schumer, the movie's a pretty good movie, and it does a good job of talking about like manifesting, but without really even using those terms. So I think it actually has a really deep spiritual concept. But in the movie, Amy Schumer plays this woman who is slightly overweight. She's not in the job she wants to have. She's not confident at all. She's not in the relationship that she wants to be in. Her life is just kind of like it's just not what she wants. And she's at a spin class, I believe, and she's spinning on a bicycle, and then she ends up falling and hitting her head. When she hits her head, all of a sudden, it changes the way she sees herself.
Okay. You hit your head pretty hard.
Wait! That's me! That's me! Oh my god, you see this?
Yes?
I'm beautiful! Ow!
So instead of seeing this woman who's slightly overweight, who's not confident, she becomes this model. And she sees herself as a model. So when she's looking in the mirror, she feels like she actually changed the way that she looked. So she thought people were seeing a different version of her, when in fact they were still seeing the same version of her, and she was too, just her perception has changed, which I thought was so interesting. But in the movie, since she thinks that she looks different, she just gains all this new confidence, right? So now she was able to get the guy of her dreams that she could never even talk to before. She was able to get her dream job. Her friends changed. Everything in her life changed because her self-concept changed. So if I could really drill something into you, it is to be Amy Schumer's character. So it's like, how do you want to see yourself? Because that's how other people will treat you. They really treat you how you treat yourself or how you view yourself. So if you see yourself as that beautiful model who can get the job she wants, get the guy she wants, everything can happen perfectly for her, that can be true for you as well. But by acting as the person who already possesses these specific qualities, what you're doing is you're learning to embody these qualities. You're learning to embody confidence. One thing that I worked on for myself is I am kind of an introvert and I can be very shy. So I don't like talking to people on elevators. So usually when I get on the elevator in my building, I grab my phone or I look down. Sometimes I'll say hi to somebody, but I'm not making elevator conversations with anybody. But when I wanted to step out of my shell and become a little more extroverted and just socialize with people, one of the goals that I had was to talk to people when I got on the elevator. And the first time I did it, it was kind of uncomfortable, but as you do it over and over again, it kind of got me out of my shell in a small way. It's just like, oh, okay, you get to talk to somebody new today, or you get to see how their day went. So the first time you do something, it may feel a little uncomfortable, but the more you do it, the more you practice it, you embody it and it actually becomes true for you. So now I really don't see myself as this introverted person. I can be introverted, but I can also talk to people. I can have elevator conversations. I can meet people at a restaurant. When I go shopping, I can talk to people in line, and it's not a big deal for me now as it was before. Even though when I did it for the first time, I was like, this is so uncomfortable. So another way that faking it till you make it can actually work for you is to go to these places that people are doing or becoming the thing or person that you want. So an example of being fit, if you want to lose weight or just get in shape, get in the best shape of your life, start hanging out with your friend that you know is a fit person. Start watching YouTube videos, going on Instagram and looking at these people that are fit. How do they talk about life? How do they talk about fitness? What's the difference between them and you? And then you can kind of see how you want to be. You can kind of embody those characteristics and start cultivating them within yourself. So just another example of this, over the summer I went to London for the first time. So I was there for I think a week or two. But when I was in London, I started to kind of have a London accent, and I started to kind of talk differently just from being around so many people with that accent. And you can kind of see how just the people you're around, they influence you so much. And use that to your advantage. So go to places, if you want to be a golfer, if you want to be a musician, if you want to be an actor, go to places that those people go. And you can gain a lot of insight and a lot of wisdom from that. You can adopt maybe an alter ego if you don't feel that confident about yourself. Beyonce does it. She used to have her Sasha Fierce, so when she came out, she would be in a completely different character. And this kind of allowed her to be more free on stage, to really express herself in the way that she couldn't as Beyonce. So you could try that to gain a little bit more confidence.
Like when you're getting ready to go on stage and perform, does Sasha Fierce, when does she show up?
Usually when I hear the crowd, when I put on my stilettos, when like the moment right before when you're nervous and that other thing kind of takes over for you. Then Sasha Fierce appears, and my posture and the way I speak and everything is different.
But no, is it like a process that happens too? Like you were talking about the high heels, like once the lashes go on and the makeup and all that stuff.
It's kind of like when I do a movie, becoming the character. Once you put on the wig and once you put on the clothes, you walk different. It's kind of this character that I've created over the years.
The tip I gave in one of my previous videos was to get dressed every day. And that stands true here now. You want to dress the part, you want to look the part. So get dressed for the life that you aspire to live as opposed to the life that you live now. So I am a huge proponent of people getting dressed every day, especially if you work from home. One of my biggest pet peeves is like going to a nice restaurant or going to some type of event and people are there with like sweatpants and hoodies on. I'm just like, oh, why? At least you can make an effort, but make an effort to dress the part of the person that you want to play. So whatever that is, look, feel, dress the part, pretend like you're a child again. And I know for us little girls, like I used to play queen and princess with my sister. We used to do all sorts of things. So you want to get back into that spirit. It should be fun. It should be exciting for you, because if you're faking something till you make it, it means that you have a desire to be something else. It should really like unleash your creativity. It shouldn't feel like, oh, like I'm having to lie to people. You shouldn't feel restricted in it. So if we're gonna look at the downfalls of faking it till you make it, one of the downfalls is going into a state of delusion. And I did say being delusional is a good thing to help you reach your goals, but it can be bad if left unchecked. If you have no sense of reality, and let's say you wanna be a musician, but you can't sing, or you can't write music, you have no musical talent at all. And we saw this with American Idol or America's Got Talent, when these people really believed that they could sing or they could dance and they could... And it's kind of embarrassing. So you do want to check yourself and make sure that the thing that you want to be is realistic for you. So I'm not here to tell anybody what they can do or can't do or put limits on anybody, because I know that we're unlimited beings. But what's true for you may be different than somebody else. So that's when you really have to go within yourself and assess your goals. It can also be a bit of a bad thing because people really respect and identify with authentic people. So if you are really concentrating on getting other people to believe who you say you are, then you're not doing this right, because this is internal. So if we're using that example that we had in the movie I Feel Pretty, Amy fell and hit her head, which caused her to change her own perception, which in turn changed the perception of others. She wasn't going out there trying to convince people that she was this model. She saw it for herself, That's how she felt about herself. And in doing that, that's how other people around her believed it. So in faking it till you make it, it's an internal thing. You're faking the essence of the thing that you want to be. So if you want to be an actress, you're not going around telling people, oh my gosh, I won an Oscar, if you haven't. But you might say that's the end goal, or you may just keep it to yourself. But a huge problem in faking it till you make it is getting other people to believe who you say you are instead of you believing it, which is the most important. I think that faking it till you make it, or being it until you become it, is actually really important because a lot of people struggle with imposter syndrome. So they could be the most successful person at your job, or they could be good at doing everything, and in their heart they kind of feel like, I don't belong here, or something's wrong, I'm not like these other people. I think I was reading an interview by J-Lo, and J-Lo says sometimes she feels imposter syndrome, like she's performing for some people and she's like, I'm not one of those, because she was born poor, and when she's with all these wealthy people, she's like, this is weird, like I don't think I fit in here. But she does, you know, and you do too.
She is just a pretty face. I just kept going, and I just started working harder and harder than everybody else, and it started paying off. But more than that, I started believing in myself. I started believing in the fact that I wasn't imposter, that I wasn't a fake.
Sometimes you do have that sense of, wait, like this is so different than what I'm used to, I don't fit in here. But if you are being it until you become it, or if you're faking it till you make it, you will already start to have those qualities, and it will feel more natural to you. And even if you still have those doubts or those fears, overall you still will feel very natural in this environment, because you're not an imposter. You've been doing this for months. You've been doing this for years. This is who you are called to be. It's another powerful way to kind of quantum leap into a new reality, or to start a new life, or start new goals. Whatever you want to do, you can definitely fake it until you make it, and you can persist in that, because there is no faking it really. You are whoever you say you are, who you assume you are, and who you declare yourself to be, and that is law. So I hope this helped you guys today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.